Come on in and join us.
We're going to spend one night in Bangkok with Hoffman's Grooming.
It's a beautiful morning with the Barbershop Duet.
Hi, I'm Marcus Klinger with Klinger Vocal Studio.
And I'm Sarah Vincent with Sarah Vincent Virtual Pilates.
But on Wednesdays and Saturdays.
We are the Barbershop Duet.
Hey, y'all, come on in. Thank you for finding our little barbershop. If you happen to be here during one of the live premieres, why, come on in the live chat on YouTube. Meet the With Pack, a cool group of friends hanging out from all over the world. They'd love to meet you, too.
They would. And for our mention today, we wanted to talk about the bar soaps that they have over at Hoffman's Grooming. This is our Ringmaster one, kettle corn and caramel. Perfect amount of sweet. And these bars last for quite a while in the shower. They lather up immediately. I've been super impressed. We just finished our patty bar this last week.
And y'all, let's have a grown-up conversation. There are some bars that I can put them on my underarms after our giant walk, and the towel still smells a little funky. Look at my face. There is something about the way these bars are milled at Hoffman's Grooming. They leave a squeaky clean towel, and I can't say that in any other way without getting gross. But y'all, we love these soap bars from Hoffman's Grooming. And what is our soap today?
Our soap today is Fool's Mate, and I peeked at some of the scent notes, and they are super intriguing. So it's time to meet the soap.
All right, y'all, from the sales page at hoffmansgrooming.com.
In life, we are kings or pawns. Napoleon. Welcome to Fool's Mate. Here are the scent notes. Oud, smoke, then smoked maple, and woodsy notes.
So, y'all, I chose this immediately because I love where the dark and mysterious, the oud and smoke, come up against something so beautifully familiar it might be waffles. And I love the chess theme. One of my favorite shows in the history of theater is one of the most notorious flops to ever hit Broadway called Chess. Have you ever played chess?
Yes, my grandpa had a granite marble kind of one. It was super heavy, and it would turquoise on one side and then like black stones on the other. So you would always hear the tink and the clink if he was playing or somebody was around.
Great.
I really tried to learn it, but I was much better at checkers. That was the other side of the board.
My dad would grab the chess set every once in a while, but I think it was just to show he was better at it than me.
You have to know all the rules, and every piece goes a different direction. It takes a lot of thinking power, man.
So let's see what gambits we can uncover when we let this mate out of the box. All right, y'all, this is how they come from Hoffman's Grooming. We also ordered Road Trip. It is on back order. Stay tuned. Y'all, look at that label, and the king stands alone. And y'all, it is not uncommon for Hoff to throw in a little candy. Thanks, buddy. Sarah's grandpa used to keep these for me. All right, I don't know about you, but I want some Oudie waffles on my plate. Let's have a first impression.
All right, I'm going to make you go first.
Take
This
it
has
all.
maple
We
in there.
didn't even have to discuss this. I am taking this in. Here we go. Oh, a beautiful pour. A little more beigey than your average Hoffman soap. There might be a little vanilla hiding in there.
All right, let's see.
Here we go. The shaking clam. Taking it in.
Long whiff, y'all.
Oh. Y'all, this is a mysterious forest in Wonderland. That's what this is. Hold on.
It did say woody notes.
Yeah. Not sweet. I am met with a unique oud that is a little heavier on the smoke than it is the oud spice. And that is met with a little bit of campfire smoke that's not Katie. It's just a little bit of a campfire sense in the background. Ooh, now hold on.
A little smolder action.
I am not getting the maple as a scent note. I am more getting the maple as a sweet. So do you remember when we were figuring out your diet, we had to buy maple syrup sugar.
Sugar, right.
That is what it tastes like something like that in your coffee, so that you're not getting a real maple sense.
Right.
But it's what's adding the sweet in a very natural, subdued kind of way.
Like a little sweeter than honey. Like it's just adding that next layer.
Right.
Okay.
But the overall sweetness of this doesn't go beyond a 3 on a scale of 1 to 10. Very dry. And that's where the woody comes in to kind of be the character. So there's nothing like pokey in this. It's very smooth. It's just not very sweet. I'm getting a purple, almost sort of cannibal's sense of how the oud is being done in here. Think indigo oud from Shannon. So it's not going to be that like Middle Eastern aqualaria smoke scent. It's going to be a little bit more of the spices under the surface, almost hinting at a leather. The intensity on this is a little bit lower, maybe a 3 or a 4 out of 10. I'm having a little trouble getting my nose under everything going on here. And it's funny, the woody notes are giving me the sense of the wood from the fruit trees in my backyard. Not like a cedar, not like a redwood.
Okay.
No.
Different then. How much of the whiff is the smoky part?
Well, about 30%. And it's kind of like walking up to a log in the campfire long after it's been extinguished.
Okay.
But you can still smell the residual smoky smell on that half-burned log. That's what this is. I'd love there to be a little more maple, but I think this is trying to paint more of a picture of a dapper, debonair guy that's not being done with the sweets. It's more the idea of leather patches on a tweed coat, kind of cleverness rather than a sweet scent.
Is it more maple wood, not maple syrup?
Oh. No, I just think the maple's been added in a dash, just so it adds a tiny hint of sweet without having to add its maple character.
Well, think of someone playing a chess game. They're not usually that sweet.
Right. I don't know. For me, it smells a little bit more like the greenhouse where my grandfather would pack the fruit. Oh. It kind of has more like a farm summer afternoon vibe to me somehow.
That's funny. I was just going to ask you where you might wear this scent. So now maybe it's kind of more that lane.
Right. And it would be lovely to layer this as a woody scent under an EDP that's a little sweeter. And a lovely mellow best friend on your shoulder. Sometimes when you see oud, it might get a little bossy. Y'all, the intensity on this doesn't go beyond a 3. It's a very light scent, but it's a very lovely one.
Sometimes the lighter ones are more intriguing. Like it makes you want to pause and dig in and take a whiff.
And we very often get requests for a lighter scented soap. A lot of people work in an office. A lot of people they go to rehearsals at night and you kind of, it's against the rules to wear anything too strong. Yeah, just a sense of clean, put together woodiness.
That's interesting because with the amount of smoke, it said smoke twice. It said smoky and then smoked maple, that it is still clean.
Well, and it said oud, which is a smoke. Smoke, which is a smoke, and smoked maple, which is a smoke. And it's amazing how little smoke I actually get out of that. But take it in. See what you get.
Okay, well, now I'm even more intrigued.
Right.
Huh.
How'd I do? Did I get close?
Yeah, you totally did. Okay, yes, the woodsy notes, I think, are the most prominent, oddly, for me.
Right.
And I do want to say I'm getting more of a maple wood, not a maple syrup. Like nothing gourmandy in here to me. I think it's that color, like almost like a cherry wood, that maple colored, just adds that richness, and something in the scent note of that rich side is coming through. So that's why I think the smoky actually kind of blends in somehow.
And you were wearing a maple syrup centered scent from Dua yesterday, the pumpkin and waffle. So that's kind of where I'm comparing this. I'm not getting that sense of maple syrup in this, but maybe the wood of the maple tree.
Yeah, I don't think you'll get any cavities wearing this. It's very different. But it adds that kind of like a dapper, put together, secretive kind of vibe in a very cool, intriguing way, where usually that, to me, when oud is more upfront in a scent, that's the vibe it brings off, this mysterious kind of allure to it.
And it doesn't go too spicy or herby in those wood notes. So if you're thinking like number 6 from Coswell Massey, no, it doesn't go there. It doesn't go to the mahoganies, doesn't go to the teaks. It stays right there in the oaks, in the backyard trees that you know.
Yeah, they're less raw woods to me, more the prettier, fancy furniture side, if you could think of it that way. It reminds me, my grandma had a bunch of nice furniture that was shipped, I think, from the Philippines or something, and they were all hand carved. And I just get that color in mind of that maple, cherry wood, kind of burgundy color that has texture to it. And that adds to this scent in a way I wasn't expecting. But now knowing that it's smoked maple, the wood, it does have that little charred kind of texture to it, but it's not campfire. It's not that smoky in your face like makes you want to cough feeling.
It's not cade.
No, it really has just a nice, intriguing like smolder, if that could make sense.
Ember.
Yeah. It doesn't smell like, sometimes in your clothes after you've left the campfire, it's left on you. It's not that type of smoke. It's definitely that perfumer's fragrance grade of that type of allure that I think it kind of comes through here.
Right.
I get a picture. I know this kind of has that dark red and black, but I almost feel like someone's wearing a very dapper burgundy colored suit.
Oh.
They're all dressed up, but there's just something that adds a little bit of their signature scent. And there's something about the different sides of the smokiness from the oud to the smoked maple and adding in the woody scents that really coexist in a very cool perfumer grade kind of vibe for me. Probably like the fanciest hotel version of a pit that you would put for barbecuing. Like, it's not, the normal sense. There's just a really fancy wood version of that.
And y'all, there is a little bit of a sweet note inside of the Hoffman's base itself that is lending itself beautifully to this scent.
But speaking of that, maybe we should lather it and see what happens.
Oh, why not? Y'all, this is my AKA brush that Amelia and Gardner made for me at AKA Brushworks. It was to remember a special shopping trip with my mom where I had to pick out a pair of Converse. I could not decide between the turquoise and the magenta because it was 1985. Well, my mom said, don't worry, I'll handle your father. Buy them both. On special days, you can wear one on each foot. Be Punky Brewster, it's the 80s. And being an homage to my Chuck Taylors, Gardner even got a little bit of the silver of the grommets and the red from the seal. I'm just going to grab a little bit. Oh, this has a nice bite back to the stick of this and put it into the grooves on the bottom of my bowl. Now, the idea is to make a plane. Use a little heat and a little friction to make a surface of the soap so that the brush is going to pull up layers, but not chunks. We're kind of approximating a tub load in the bowl. So it's going to look a bit like that when we're ready to hit it with this Sean and Julie Memorial Bougie water. And y'all, I found where I used to have a little trouble getting this brush to splay. The more I break it in, the more it's exactly what I want it to be in the splay department. I think part of the problem with collecting a dozen or so brushes at the very beginning was I didn't really get a chance to break any of them in that properly. But after 2 years, and after my moratorium on buying brushes, they are now responding thusly. All right, so we're just going to go forwards.
You smell it?
We're going to go backwards. There must be some mint in here because she woke up. And then just about the time the soap stops making its way onto the bristles, I'm going to turn the brush, give them a new orientation to grab that soap with. And look at that, a bunch more disappears. Another turn of the brush, and we're just about ready to now introduce the water into this equation because most of that soap is now hiding among my bristles. We were actually watching Daniel Malou give a shave the other day, and he does something a little bit similar with his brush. But he does a face lather.
Yeah.
All right, grabbing the... Oh, there's way more character kind of coming out of this now.
Okay, I'm glad we lathered up.
There were shades of maple bacon whiskey from Vanillé for me in this. And at first, it's going to feel like you're stirring foamy water, but after a while, and I mean after 2 or 3 minutes, put on a good song, there's actually going to be some pushback to your brush in the bowl as the consistency gets thicker and thicker, approaching legit butter.
I think I'm just remembering that one of my childhood pieces of furniture was made from maple.
Oh.
Like the inside of the drawers where you'd pull them out.
Right.
The back lining was all the maple wood.
That's cool. It's a beautiful light color.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all, when I was about 12, I was doing a show and everybody said, go immediately to Tower Records and buy the Chess Cast recording. It's written by the people that wrote all the music for ABBA, and it is a fantastic rock opera, and they were not wrong. The problem is it exists way better as an album. Once you put it on stage and you see them acting out the songs, it doesn't quite translate in the same way. And then when I got back, they all said, oh, you bought the Broadway one? That's the wrong one. I had to save up for the London one, but I knew why. But I love the Broadway one. Judy Kuhn, the voice of Pocahontas, the original Cosette Les Miserables, she was the star. It was really good.
Yeah, I often hear you playing with that with some of your clients here, and I forget that it's from that show.
Then the One Night in Bangkok, that anthem, it's from Chess. It's an interesting story. It's about the Cold War and the United States and the Soviet Union being the two finalists of the chess competition. And the assistant to the American player falls in love with the Russian player.
Ruh-roh.
And hilarity ensues. But as you can imagine, maybe not a rock'em sock'em night on Broadway. Although Whitney Houston and her mother, the acclaimed gospel singer, did record the song from Chess, I Know Him So Well, on her Whitney album. So there you go.
Oh, yeah, things happening?
Y'all, this is broadening and waking up quite a bit in the lather. So this is something you will only find here in the Barbershop Duet. This is the checkmate or check whiff on 3, 1, 2. Oh, that might be checkmate right there. Oh, yeah. This. Whoa, that
Right?
changed quite a bit. What do you get in the leather?
I almost feel like I'm in some fancy dude's library or
It got
something.
way sweeter. This is where all the sweet went. Are you kidding me? How are you getting that? It's not just the maple.
But it's like the different woods. Like, I feel like I'm in a
Right.
pristine library where everything has
Wow.
been cleaned to the nines. There's not an ounce of dust.
I am totally getting shades of our library soaps, but without the plum, without the parchment.
Yeah, no leather
but
either.
somehow the books are still here. Mm-hmm. This is beautiful.
Like, it's just that color on the wall. I don't know how that is any easier to say, but I'm in the room and I can tell there's super tall ceilings.
Right.
Like,
This-
there's things in there.
Could be the smell of intellect. And this underwent such a dramatic change. I need to go back and look at the scent notes. All right, y'all, back to the sales page at hoffmansgrooming.com. This starts with,
Let's go just whiffing for this one. The oud.
I don't really get the oud so much.
Okay, I think it just disappears into the next one, which is smoke.
Right.
Because to me, the smoke isn't the normal smoke that I'm expecting. So I think it's something with those two, how they're coexisting together,
Right.
that almost create a peppery, kind of deep, earthy, different version of a smoke.
Right. And I have noticed that sometimes with oud, it's the actual wood that
Right.
has been affected by the ants of the
agarwood.
aqualaria tree. And sometimes it's the smoke
Right.
from that wood that people in Middle Eastern cultures like put on them the smoke with like a shawl.
Right, and the smoke is what they actually
So
wear.
I'm kind of getting in this the sense of just the wood before it's been burned.
Okay, so you are getting more the woodsy side.
Right.
Interesting, yeah.
But then the smoke is a separate note for me. The smoke is almost like that campfire that's been put out a day ago, but you can kind of still sense that it was burning at some point.
Because there are spices in here, and I can't figure out what side they're really coming from. Because they're kind of peppery. They're not quite charcoaly.
No.
But they're in that kind of a texture for me.
I think they're in the woody notes. And I
Okay.
think you're looking at Schifras here. I think you're looking at lighter woods. I think you're looking at balsams. I think you're looking
Okay.
at a cypress going on under the surface.
And then we have our smoked maple, which we've decided is probably smoked maple wood.
Right. Now let's have a grown-up conversation. I was kind of hoping that in the middle of this would be a solid giant smoked maple. No, it's hard to sense. The maple is just what's adding a subtle sense of sweet to this to bring it up to a 3 on the sweetness scale. But if it were done with anything else, the smoke and the wood would not be as supported. So while this is more smoke and woody centered, for me, I do love what the maple is doing in the background.
And then it's up for debate, but we've got woodsy notes. So pick one. I'm going for more of the burgundy color woods in
okay.
my mind.
Yeah.
I think is where I'm at.
Yeah.
There's just a richness that's coming through it.
A mahogany.
Right, but I think there could be like a pine or a cedar, something in there that's adding a crisp, a clean side to this.
Right. But again, under the hood and back a bit.
Yep. Like this is way more dapper of a scent than I
Right.
originally had expected, but I'm kind of liking
Right.
that.
Yeah, I was really expecting this to be super dark or danky or something, but it's really not. And we might need to take this down a little bit deeper.
It's interesting. There's a few of the Duet scents that we've gotten that do have a smoky kind of scent note in them. And we've been
Right.
trying to figure out where they kind of sit. Like, is that an evening walk outside? Like, where do they go? And I feel like this is kind of in that lane.
Right.
Like, it's just different to use smoke as a scent note.
Right. And y'all, certain types of people pride themselves on not being too sweet, especially in the business executive funeral home world. Take my word for that. And you're not going to put on Aventus. You're not going to put on Green Irish Tweed. That's sweet. That's a different character than you are. This is about no nonsense. Get business done while smelling clean, dapper, and masculine. This might be a chess world champion.
Yep. It's interesting to me because I think this scent would be better as like a beard oil, which I think you might offer.
Oh.
But you know, something there's like a person that's sort of rugged or
Right.
breaking the rules, like
Yes.
maybe tatted up, but they're in a suit.
Right.
And they're still all dressed up for their job. There's just something of that oxymoron coming through.
And just enough sweetness to know it's not dangerous.
No.
But not enough where it would be, well, cuddly.
I do love this label because the board is not flat. It's kind of falling
No.
apart and caving
And
in.
it's not symmetrical. It's like got
No.
a slope
right.
to it.
And it almost looks like it's on top of sand, like it's projected down
Right.
kind of a thing. I don't know if you can tell, but that's what I'm seeing.
And yet, One king has definitively claimed victory over the other there, y'all. We love watching our Anna. I forget her last name.
Yeah,
She's from Sweden and Spain, but she is a daughter of 2 chess world champions, and she occasionally plays them in competition.
Yep, it's great. And we really did enjoy watching The Queen's Gambit. That was a wild ride on Netflix, too. I feel like we could kind of have something to smell while we're watching these now.
That was one of those shows I will always be grateful for because it hit right when lockdown happened, and we needed some good entertainment to help cleanse our palate from the Tiger King.
And then you're right. This totally cleaned house. Like, even from just the set, the design of all the costumes and everything, and like the international sides of it, like getting to know each of the characters, like you got invested in their story, man.
Yo, I know we never comment on lather here at the Barbershop Duet unless it weighs over 3 pounds.
I feel like we gotta throw that in our face to give him a little viewing.
Oh, right. We do love watching Angelo on the Shave Arcade and seeing how that lather coats his face. We don't do shaving here in the Barbershop Duet, but we will show you how a nice, beautiful Hoffman's base will cover your moneymaker. Look at this.
I really think we don't have anything in our den that has woods and smokes done like this.
No.
Out of almost 600 soaps, you'd think we would have crossed one, but now we have. Thank you, Hoff.
And it is lovely how intense it isn't. It really invites your nose in to explore.
I know it doesn't list mahogany necessarily, but I think there's a mahogany in here somehow.
Antique, I'm with you.
Yep.
Maybe a little Apopanox for color.
Yeah. There's just a richness to this that I feel like I've stepped into somebody else's estate house or something fancy that I normally would not reside in. This is such a padded lather. Like, I feel like you're super protected here. It's still super slick, but there is like a 3D-esque vibe to this.
So it's pretty simple, y'all. Just be one of the current reigning chess champions who is being accused of cheating. Well, the judges are going to search you up and down, very sure that you have some kind of device that is giving you a tactile sensation to tell you which piece to play next. And after they search you from the top of your head to the tips of your shoes and they don't find anything, well, there's only one more place to look, and he's going to get his own. So head over to hoffmansgrooming.com where you'll find this and a ton of other stuff I want right now. Well, I have had my shave, y'all, with Fool's Mate, and what a pleasure to have something a little bit more on the dapper side, a little bit less on the sweet side, definitely not on the gourmand side, in the Hoff lineup. A beautiful scent, fitting for a boardroom or a night on the town. And the lather, one of my favorites from the very beginning. I test my new razors with it. Thank you, Hoff. We'll be back for a shave stick. Shave of the Day posters and fans of Voloma, welcome to messages.
So for our July giveaway, we wanted to give you a chance to get this custom brush from Opus Brush.
Yeah, y'all, he made it just to be a giveaway on our show, and all you have to do to be eligible is send us an email here to we sent you at thebarbershopduet.com so that we can get back to you. Maybe go check out all the cool things Craig's got going at Opus Brush, and then come back here on our first August episode to see if you are our lucky winner.
Best of luck.
Not really what I was expecting.
No.
More using the outskirts of each set to come together and build this character. But I love it. It's very different.
You know, there's been certain ones from Hoffman's before that have done that to us, and we read it and we assume something. And I think Killer Bees, there was a few other ones that people mentioned the same thing. So I love that there's only a few scent notes usually listed as different clues, but then when you get your nose in there, you have to reset and step back and just enjoy that picture that's being painted in front of you. It's quite a journey.
Unless it's the last Ringmaster and it smells so realistic to glazed kettle corn, you can smell the crunchy glaze.
That's why we've been waiting to put this into the shower. We had to finish Patty first because that was fun and minty, but this one's gonna be the next one.
Patty even makes me think of Christmas.
Yeah, I'm glad we have another one on backup because we gotta save that one.
We've even seen Robert posting some videos that he might be on Shark Tank in the months to come. Who knows? Stay tuned, y'all.
Don't forget your next appointment with the Barbershop Duet.
You'll smell better just watching this.